everyone, and welcome back. My name is Daphne St. Clair Ferguson, and I'm so excited to be sitting here with some of the creators of camp. So exciting. Now, if you could introduce yourselves, I mean, I know if we've got some long-term followers, this is a repeat interview over here, you should know the name, but introduce yourself, tell me a little bit about the role in the production, and let's get going.
My name is Margot Greve, and I am the book writer, director, co-choreographer, and unfortunately I'm also the producer on the show. Yay!
My name is Ben Kopp. I wrote the music and lyrics. I'm music directing, orchestrating it, and you could probably say I'm producing it as well.
Yeah.
So some distaste for producing here. Why is that?
Honestly, producing is wonderful, and if you have the bone for it, it's great. Like, keep rocking on. Just when you have to do so many different things on one production, that's when it gets challenging. Would you agree?
Yes.
I mean, that is Canadian theatre, as I'm understanding. And I obviously asked you this last year, but we've got a new interviewee here. Now, what is Canadian theatre, and how does this show fit into the realm of Canadian theatre? Has your opinion changed on Canadian theatre?
That's a great question. I mean, honestly, with this show, I think that this is like a very Canadian production, where like the show is set on Georgian Bay, like in a sleepaway summer camp on Georgian Bay, which is like, that's like such a uniquely Canadian experience, like going to sleepaway camp for like your whole summer. So I think it's like nice to write about things that are like uniquely Canadian and that like bring that nostalgia factor.
Yeah, I think it'll speak to a lot of different people who have different levels of experience with summer camps, like whether it was just like day camps or like actually going and staying in cabins for a long time. I think this is going to bring back memories for a lot of people and make people want to create new memories.
Yeah.
So maybe we
also,
can only
like,
hope.
Specifically for the two of us, like when we create what we call like Canadian theater, like we're really focused on just like creating stuff that's like fun centric, that like doesn't take itself too seriously, is like really goofy and like a great time for audiences. Yeah.
Wonderful. And now this is a cast of all teenagers, correct? So talk to me a little bit about how we develop that with the youth. I know before the interview we were talking about how they're still in exams. Like, what is this like?
Yeah, you take this one.
Yeah, we wrote this show. The first draft was actually, they were around like that grade 8, grade 9 transition age, 12, 13. But I think that was, we learned that was maybe a little young, so we moved it up to grade 12, the university. That transition is kind of centered in our show. So we have some 18-year-olds, 17, 15, 16, and then 2 13-year-olds playing some younger characters in the show. But so it was a priority of ours to get these kids to basically play the ages that they actually are in the show, rather than having adult actors pretend to be 13, which could sometimes, you can run into a few snags there. That this is something we really wanted and was important to us.
And also just like when you're doing a show that's like still in progress, like having the actual demographic of your characters like represented on stage, like it's really, really useful. Like they've given us so much insight into like what it's like to be 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 in this like day and age, which is like very different from what it was like when we were that age. Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about those differences. I mean, what have you learned from them? Or maybe some new lingo you've learned even. What are the differences between how you grew up versus how they're growing up?
The internet.
Yeah, the internet, absolutely. And well, I think we made an effort to keep it kind of reference free, to like keep like the memes and phrases of what is popular in this moment out. They, you know, as you can imagine, wanted to put a 6-7 joke into the show, and we were like, I think we're gonna veto that just because it feels like it's already gone. It's too much.
Yeah. That's been really interesting. And I don't know, when we were growing up, like we would like maybe use the computer for computer games and stuff, but like now technology is like such an integral part of their lives. But it's also really important for us that like when we were writing this story about summer camp, that it was like very cell phone free, very like technology is like off limits at the summer camp, so that we can really focus on just like the actual relationships that these kids are building and like their friendships within the summer camp.
And do you think focusing on those friendships within the summer camp is what keeps this play, will keep it fresh for years to come versus, I mean, like you're saying, 6-7's already passed. So how do you keep these things fresh? Is it friendship? Is it relationships? What is it?
Yeah, the story centers around this friendship that has ended, right? Which is something that I think we talk a lot about romantic breakups, but we don't talk as much about friendship breakups and what the playbook is for that and what that looks like, not only for the two friends that aren't friends anymore, but for all the other people in their lives. Like, oh, our whole lives, our summer camp lives were centered around all of us being together and getting along. So when that changes, it's not just the two of them, it changes for everybody.
Yeah, it seems to be sort of like a universal theme. Like, when we talk about the show and we sort of bring up what the crux of it is, that these like two people who were best friends for like their whole lives are about to go off to university, and they come back to the summer camp and they're not friends anymore. They're not speaking to each other, and like nobody really knows what's happened. Like, so many of us have experiences with things like that, where, you know, a friendship or somebody who we thought we were like so close to that we would be friends with forever, like it just comes to an end. And I think that it's just like a really useful lesson to just sort of like sit, reflect on that, and be like, you know, life goes on, our relationships go on, our friendships continue to grow, and sometimes they come to an end.
Sometimes they do come to an end. It's so tragic, but it's also beautiful. I love this story. Now, talk to me a bit about why a musical. I mean, obviously this is your forte is writing musicals. But why not just a strict play, a text play? What does music bring into this that is special?
Yeah. I mean, specifically, camps are, like, summer camps are not without music that they actually do, which is like the camp could have the camp song, repeat after me songs around the campfire.
Down by the Bay.
Down by the Bay is featured in our show and in one moment. Yeah. But I think that's also just the art form that we're drawn to. And, like, you know, there is points in the song where, like, they're singing the camp song, and this is, like, them actually singing it, but also characters singing to express what's going on with them internally is just, I think, something that we both enjoy doing and writing and putting that forward for sure.
If I can just add to that, too, like, the original sort of, like, idea for the show came out of a play that I had written about Girl Guides, and we were sort of considering like adapting that into a musical, but we decided that like it would be even better to just sort of like take that as our crux and sort of launch into like a brand new story. And I think that it just sort of took to music right away, and like sometimes, you know, the story you just like know whether it's going to be a play or a musical, and to us this one was definitely a musical at its heart.
I love that. And music really speaks to everyone's hearts. I feel like music brings so many people together. And you've written, I mean, you're Dora-nominated musical theater artist. So talk to me about how you develop these works into one of the largest Canadian stages that we're going to be able to see.
Yeah. I mean, in this case, this is sort of a different development period than our usual stuff. Like a lot of our shows in the past have been self-driven, but this time it actually started with Bad Hats Theatre. They did like Narnia and Peter Pan and Alice in Wonderland, and they commissioned us to write one song for their New Bad Ideas live series. And so we wrote a song about Capture the Flag, which was sort of the initial crux of the show, and we developed this with them over a period in March to just sort of like grow it into a full-length piece. And so their support and their encouragement and feedback has been really integral in the creation of the show for sure.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
And last year you won Patron's Pick with Iris. Do you think you've got another one in the bag this year?
I don't know. There's so many good shows in our venue. Like, big shout out to Uga Chaka, which we are also in. And there's a lot of wonderful shows in the venue. I don't think we're particularly fussed either way. It's always nice. It's always nice to have that bonus show in case, you know, people can't make it out during the rest of the run. But I don't know. Do you have thoughts?
We'll see. I mean, you know, our expectations are level.
Neutral expectations.
Yeah. Neutral. Well, let's raise them up. Come on. I got some high hopes for you folks.
If I could actually say though, like with Iris, that was like an awesome thing to win Patron's Pick because it was randomized. It just gave everybody one more chance to catch the ones that they hadn't seen yet. This is obviously not randomized. This is just a straight up show. But I mean, obviously, it would be lovely to win Patron's Pick.
I love it. Now, talk to me. How do you avoid exploiting children?
I mean, with this, we co-produced with Bravo Academy,
Yes.
which I think was key. Like, they're a youth programming up in North York, and a lot of it, like, our communications go through the parents. Everything is done with their, like, explicit permission, and the show itself is not, like, risque, raunchy in any way. Like, it's geared for youth.
And I can say these kids have more energy than we do. Like they're ready to keep going when at the end of rehearsal we're the ones who are like, all right, like we gotta go home and go to bed. So I think they're ready and they're go-getters. They're all super happy to be here and super excited for the show, which is great. I think we lucked out with this group for sure.
And also, they've never done the Fringe before.
No.
So this is like a really exciting and fun and cool opportunity, and I think that their parents are like really psyched for them that they get to do this as well.
So, seeing as they've not done the Fringe, what knowledge and wisdom are you bestowing on them, having done the Fringe in the past?
Honestly, I think that the key is just like treating it like a professional show. Like, we've been doing professional practices and like just sort of teaching them what it's like to be in a room and to do a festival.
Yeah, well, also letting them know the details of the Fringe that are a little more haphazard. Like, we got to set up quick, we got to tear down quick, and it all moves quite fast.
Yeah.
Speaking of it moving fast, what has your rehearsal period been like? How long have you folks been rehearsing? I mean, it's coming up quite soon.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing about working with teens is that they're still in school.
Yeah.
So our rehearsal period has been a little bit non-traditional. We've had like 1 or 2 rehearsals a week since like, I don't know, late March. And then we took a nice long break in May and we came back and now we're going a little bit more full steam ahead. But again, not too much because like we said, they're in exams. Do you want to add anything?
No.
All right.
Wonderful. And have you folks been to summer camp? I mean, you talked about Girl Guides. Do you have some favorite memories that are maybe reflected in this show?
Yeah, I did. I never did like a true, like, I'm away for weeks, but I was in Cub Scouts and we did a few like overnight things there. I don't know if anything is directly referenced. My main memory of that is spinning really fast in a tire swing until I barfed. That is not in the show.
Oh.
Too
Unfortunately.
gross, I think. Yeah, but that was my experience.
Yeah, I went to sleepaway summer camps. I went to the Stratford sleepaway summer camp at one point, which was great. But I also went to Camp Rebuff when I was in elementary school. And I have like a very vivid memory of us playing Capture the Flag in the dark. And I think that kind of was like a jumping off point as well for us when we were writing our Capture the Flag song, which is one of my favorite numbers of the show. And I hope that audiences enjoy it.
I am sure that they will. And so, talk to me, what can adults learn from teenagers?
Oh my God, what a great question.
I gotta think about this one.
I mean, what have we learned from the teenagers?
Just life is a little. They're like, they're not like young actors, but life is still a little simpler for them, and life is just getting started. Is really what it feels like, especially at the age we've picked for this show of that transition from end of high school to university. That there's a lot of pressure there, but also a lot of excitement. So, yeah.
Yeah, and also just like thinking about, the things that are like stressing them out right now and remembering those moments that like I had and you had when we were teenagers. And in like the grand scheme of life, it's just like so funny to look back on those moments and be like, that felt like the weight of the world at the time. And now it means nothing. Like, we're doing great. We're living life. We're dreaming big. That's how it's going to be,
But at the end of the day, I mean, it's not nothing because now we've got a show from it too, right? So these things weigh heavy on us maybe in the moment, but now we're writing musicals about them, right? Yeah. Lovely. Now, I'm asking everyone this question this year. Where's your money going?
Oh, yeah. That's a great question. I mean, we have always operated on a like pure profit share system. So all of the income goes back to the artists in our instance. Yeah.
Great. And how do you fund a Fringe show? What's the marketing like? Are we grants? What's going on there?
Yeah, we've done, a few things. We got some development money, but for the actual production itself, it's all just through fundraiser that we threw, mainly for the teenagers' parents to come. And then now we have a Kickstarter going as well. Just
we have a Kickstarter going as well.
Please donate to our Kickstarter. We literally, even if you only have $1, we could use $1.
We'll take it. We'll take it.
Yeah, because it's not like we want to give as much money back to the team as possible, but we also need to pay for rentals and set pieces and stuff like that. And we, even though it's the Fringe, we always end up going all out.
Yeah, I know.
we just can't go halfway. We have to do it full.
Yeah. And in like the case of like us giving the money back to the artists, like that case, it's like it's super important for us to just like offset our costs. So in the past, we've always been able to cover all of our expenses and then just return all of that money to the artists. And it's really important to us that we do that again this year. Our Campfire Circle fundraiser was really fun. We just did like a campfire circle, sang a bunch of songs, gave away some stuff, and it was a really good time. So Kickstarter's not as much of a good time, but it's still a good time. If you donate $50, we'll put your name in a song. Yeah. Woo!
So exciting. So donate that $50 because your name could be in a song. Everyone wants that.
Not in the show, to be clear.
Oh, not in the show.
In an original song by us.
Yeah.
Still very exciting. Everyone wants that, don't you? Come on now. All right. So you folks are busy, busy, busy. How are you balancing producing this show, writing this show, and then also doing Ooga Chaka? This seems crazy to me. How are you balancing all of that?
Take it away.
Yeah, the month of June is every hour seems to be filled. We're doing 2 shows. I also am currently doing this job as a convocation name reader at Toronto Metropolitan University.
Wow.
I came from there this morning. So, yeah, I mean, genuinely, I think it's just, I found actually that being so busy with this sort of thing is great because it gives me energy. You know, I never leave a rehearsal and I'm like dreading the next one. I'm always looking forward to the next one because this is what we want to be doing. So we're busy, but it's the good kind of busy.
Yeah, I agree. And yeah, when we're not in rehearsal, I'm like home glue gunning stuff, you know, and like printing things and making buttons and like that kind of like manual labor is oddly satisfying when you're doing the Fringe. It just feels very like spirit of the Fringe, I guess. Like, yeah, it's all self-driven, all self-motivated.
Wonderful. And I'd like to go back to something you said, Ben, about going all out. Why is it important to you to go all out, especially for something like the Fringe, where you see some maybe haphazard shows?
I mean, you're talking to the 2 people that did a randomized show that was actually 3 shows in one last year. Why do we keep doing this? Well, we go all out because we just don't know any other way. If we went halfway, we would be embarrassed. We would be miserable. We would not think that what we're doing is good work. We want to make shows that we're proud of. Like, that is the most important thing. And I think camp is that.
Yeah. Our vision is just kind of on that scale, and unfortunately, like when we're producing a show, like we're just unable to do anything smaller than that. And I don't think people like realize that, like, truly, even though it is on that larger scale, like it is us at home with a glue gun. Like literally, it is that, and we're working really hard to make it happen. But we're always really proud of it at the end of the day, and like it's nice to just like go to sleep with the knowledge that like we gave this everything we had, all of our blood, sweat, and tears, and like it's always worth it. It's always worth it.
It's all on the stage, eh? Love it. Now, is there anything else our audience should know about this show? What can they expect? Or just something maybe you want to share about this process?
I think you could expect just a very fun show with some young actors that are all so talented that you're going to laugh a lot at, but I think it's also, it will speak to everyone in some small way.
Yeah. If I can add too, just like if you know Mixtape from Killing Time or from Ira Says Goodbye, like even though this is a more like traditionally formatted show, and even though it's like a little bit more family friendly, I guess is the way to say it, like it's still a Mixtape show at its heart. It's still very silly and extremely goofy, and like yeah, it feels still very Mixtape. Do you agree with that?
Totally.
Totally. I love it. Well, thank you so much for joining me again this year. Lovely to meet you, Ben, as well. So check them out. You're at the Michael Young Theatre, correct? Wonderful. So is there anything else we should be looking forward to from Mixtape?
Coming up?
Yeah.
Oh, coming up. No.
More behind the scenes stuff from us.
Oh, I will say though, we are planning. Yeah.
I love it. Thank you so much for joining me once again today. I mean, the setting is perfect for camp, so be sure to check it out. Oh, your dates, July.
We open June 30th. We close July 12th. They're all on our Instagram at Mixtape Projects.
And I'll tag them down below as well for you. Awesome. Oh, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for joining us on this little screen. This is Daphne St. Clair Ferguson signing off.